At Orange Coast, our customer reviews prove we treat you like family.
Our family works together.
Our family has your back.
During the Jeep Celebration event, get special pricing on our new Jeeps.
When you're with family, you have that sense of trust, and that's what we do here.
We're upfront with the prices.
We respect your time. We treat you like you matter.
Our customer reviews are the best in the area.
And we've earned that reputation.
Your #1 Jeep dealer in Orange County. Shop easy. Drive happy. OCAuto.com.
It's okay that you don't want to be first to get the COVID-19 vaccine. You aren't. It's okay to have questions. Everyone deserves answers. It's okay to hate needles but love Band-Aids. It's fine to do it because your kid misses her soccer team like nothing else. Let's get you there. Let's get to immunity. Learn more at vaccinateall58.com or call 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. What's up, everybody, and greetings from Sin City. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to your weekend. Mine is about to kick off very soon. It's going to start with a New York Rangers hockey game, and then after the hockey game, I'll be directly going to the Italian deli, Cugino's, to grab a few sandwiches for the UFC event that comes on afterwards. Now, that's my plan for the whole day. So this is the only episode you're probably getting out of your boy today. Now, I'll have some flashback episodes as well, like I talked about, but pretty sure that this is the only new episode that's going to drop today. Unless, of course, something earth-shattering happens, then after UFC, I'll drag my ass back to the studio. But as of now, this is going to be our only new one today, and the rest of the day will be spent by your boy sitting around on the couch being so not productive that it's not even funny. That is my grand plan for the weekend. I know. Very, very exciting. An excitement overload, probably. This is what happens, folks, when you break 40. The weekends aren't about going out and drinking no more, partying, going hard in the paint. No, the weekends are about your honey-do list. What sort of chores does Carrie have for me? Oh, what sort of sporting events can I sit around and watch? That is what you have to look forward to in your 40s. Get amped, kids. Get amped. All right, so we're going to move on to our topic of the day. And today, we're going to go back to an article from July 11th of 2019. And it's going to be in the same vein of the Bill Clinton and Doug Band story we were talking about. Now, again, that is a story that Chris Spargo ran for Radar yesterday. And Chris Spargo has had a pretty damn good track record so far. So I'm going to say that it definitely has some legs. We know that Doug Band is on the outs with the Clinton machine. And with all of the reports of Doug Band being on a couple of those flights with Bill Clinton, with Jeffrey Epstein, with some of the girls who were trafficked, it makes sense that he would speak to the investigators, right? If the investigators are doing their job correctly, if it's an all-encompassing investigation, then they most certainly are speaking with people like Doug Band who are on the plane. Now, that doesn't mean that Doug Band is dishing the dirt on Bill Clinton. Who knows if there even is any. But what it does mean is that the investigators, if this story is true, that the investigators think that Band might have something to add. So they brought him in to talk to him. I like that, and I would like to see a lot more of that. All of these people who are on these planes, even if they're just coming in to have a chat with the FBI about what they might have seen, they might be able to fill in some holes. They might be able to fill in some cracks. So I don't see the problem with these people coming in and speaking to the investigators. Now, with Bill Clinton has a big problem, folks. This guy has lied and lied and lied again about his relationship with Epstein and when and where he hung out with him. And when you have somebody coming out like Doug Band, who was one of the most extraordinary insiders of Camp Clintonista, then you know that there's something there. And when I say that, again, I don't mean that Bill Clinton was engaging in the actual abuse of these girls. We haven't heard that, right? I don't know one way or the other. Nobody has said that. So what I'm talking about is the enabling part. And why would Bill Clinton lie about it? If you were friends with this dude, why aren't you coming out and saying so? What are you hiding, Bill? What happened that we don't know about? That's the question. Again, we don't know. So the questions have to be asked. And unfortunately, the legacy media is asleep at the wheel. I'm sure that Camp Clinton has already put out the message to their lapdogs in the legacy media to stay away from this case, to stay away from tracking down Bill's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. What, you put that above the Clintons? That's how they conduct themselves. They're the kings and queens of decimation. So I certainly don't put it above the Clintons to reach out to their lapdogs in the media like Stephanopoulos and company to try and provide them cover. But even with that happening, they can't keep the facts of this case quiet. Too many people know. There's too many people who have come out and spoken on the record. And now you add Doug Band and what Chris Spargo's reporting, and it's starting to look like the Clintons are going to have to answer some serious questions sometime, hopefully soon. Now, today's article, like I was saying, goes all the way back to 2019, and this article is from the Daily Beast. Headline: Bill Clinton failed to mention his intimate 1995 dinner with Epstein. Oh, well, that's convenient, isn't it? 1995, folks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Bill Clinton the president at that time? Oh, yeah, he was, right? Weren't there people who were trying to dispute the fact that Epstein had access to Clinton's White House? Oh, yeah, there were some people trying to dispute that. Must suck looking so stupid now, doesn't it? Because there was no dispute. Everybody knew that Epstein had access. Everybody knew that he knew Bill Clinton in those days. But yet, the legacy media let Bill Clinton put out that stupid-ass statement from his handler, his spokesperson, about how Clinton had only been around Epstein 4 times. And people accepted that. People ran with that. Nobody thought to dig deeper. Of course not. Because the legacy media is straight trash. This article was authored by Pilar Melendez. Hours after Jeffrey Epstein was arraigned Monday on several sex trafficking charges, former President Bill Clinton publicly downplayed his relationship with the pedophile financier, saying he knew nothing of his terrible crimes since they only met briefly on 2 occasions. Now, what? How is it that this man can come out with a statement so ridiculous as that and not be challenged and not be hammered by the legacy media? Here's an idea, legacy media. Quit playing your game of tribes. How about you just report the story and follow the evidence wherever it leads you? Enough with the confirmation bias. Hop out of your echo chamber and do some groundwork. But a 1995 newspaper clipping, first discovered by Snopes, wow, Snopes actually doing real work? That's a change. Shows Epstein was on the guest list for a small dinner party and fundraiser hosted by Revlon beauty mogul Ron Perlman for the Democratic National Committee. The former president's press shop did not respond to the Daily Beast request for comment. And of course they won't respond because they don't get pressed on it. Where's the Washington Post pressing them? Where's Acosta pressing them? Where are all of those loudmouth journalists we hear all the time whinging from their ivory tower? Where are they pressing Bill Clinton? Nowhere to be seen. And their silence speaks volumes. The fact that he had access to the White House all the way back then obviously is something we have all known, something we've talked about here on the podcast a lot, and it's amazing that the legacy media hasn't dove into that yet. They just, they like to play their games, don't they? They just like to play their games. If they can't score political points, if they can't get a political dunk, if they can't make one of their enemies look bad, or if the boomerang effect might come back to hit one of their faves, as Nancy Pelosi's daughter likes to say, well, then it's off limits. You can't talk about it. Meanwhile, the people who deserve to know this news, the people who deserve to have these questions answered, you, continually get left in the dust by a legacy media that wants to report on shit that does not even matter in our lives. In his Monday statement, Clinton said he only had one meeting with Epstein in his Harlem office in 2002, and around the same time made one brief visit to Epstein's New York apartment with a staff member and a security detail. Yeah, well, what about the plane ride there, Billy boy? What about the massage from Shantae Davies, Billy boy? What about the fact that you were spotted on the island, Billy boy? What about your trip to Zorro Ranch, Slick Willie? President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those with which he has been recently charged in New York, the statement said. He's not spoken to Epstein in well over a decade, and has never been to Little St. James Island, Epstein's ranch in New Mexico, or his residence in Florida. All straight up lies. Where's the outrage? Where is all of the gnashing of the teeth? Because, look, that is the environment that the media themselves have brought into the public sphere, okay? So all of the good, tough questions that were being asked for the last few years, let's see them continue, right? Or are you hypocrites? Or are you the ones who are biased? You see, usually it's the people who are yelling about people being biased and about people, not covering things correct. Those are the people, right? Are the ones who, when the shoe is on the other foot and it's their turn to call out their tribe, they don't do it. So the hypocrisy runs rampant, right? For me, when it comes to something like this, I don't know how anyone could play politics. Who the hell cares what side of the aisle some jerk-off's on if they're involved in this sort of thing? I mean, are you guys crazy? Anyone who would defend stuff like this is just bottom of the barrel, in my opinion, and to make excuses for it, absolutely disgusting. And the legacy media has to wear this shame. The March 31st, 1995 issue of the Palm Beach Post reported Epstein was one of 14 guests invited to Clinton's fundraising dinner at Perlman's Palm Beach home, Casa Apava. After a full day of campaigning in Florida and a round of golf, the article stated, Clinton arrived at the mansion on an island that reaches from the ocean to the intracoastal for the 3-hour dinner. Now remember, only 14 people were invited to this meeting. You think Jeffrey Epstein was important in the Democratic Party? This is who it was set up by, folks, okay? The DNC. You think he was an important donor? Should we go back and reread all of the hundreds of thousands of dollars he's donated to politicians? This dude was an insider, okay? He was an insider for the party back then, a huge donor. And he was somebody who had access to Bill Clinton. It's not even disputable, but yet the media, the legacy media, and Bill Clinton's people will try and gaslight everybody and try and recreate history when all you have to do is do a little legwork of your own and go back and read the articles that put him at all of these places that connect him to Jeffrey Epstein. So besides his word, what sort of receipts has Slick Willie provided? Among the guest list, singer Jimmy Buffett, who was a late addition, Miami Vice actor Don Johnson, actor Michael Douglas's then-wife Deandra, DNC co-chair Don Fowler, business executive Bob Knuth, and Clinton college friend and the dinner's organizer Paul Prosperi. Boy, a whole entire group of a who's who setting, huh? Sure seems to always be the situation when Jeffrey Epstein's breaking bread, huh? With all of these kind of people, all of these so-called elites, all of these people who all of a sudden have no idea who Jeffrey Epstein is. They have no idea what he was up to, and how dare you for asking the questions, you conspiracy theorist. To attend, the Palm Beach Post reported, each guest donated $100,000 to the DNC. Boy, isn't that nice. Has the DNC given that $100,000 back from Jeffrey Epstein? Inquiring minds want to know. Has anyone dug into the DNC about this? Hey, Julie Brown, where you at? Sipping on some lattes or something? What's going on over here? I'd like to see the same kind of vigor and zeal that we saw the last 4 years. Let's go. Here's an idea. How about this stuff is equally chased down? Probably a good idea. All of these scumbags, I don't care what political party they're in, must be outed. And furthermore, that slush fund that Congress has that pays off accusers for sexual harassment, etc., that needs to be blown right out of the water along with it. Every single person who used taxpayer funds to bail themselves out should have to repay that money. What, it's any different than somebody being fraudulent with unemployment? It's no different. What, because they're a politician, we should be paying for their sexual assault nonsense? Sorry, wrong. All of these people should be outed. Every single one of them. And then the funds should have to be returned. Clinton's Monday statement also insisted he took only a total of 4 trips with Epstein in 2002 and 2003 to Europe, Asia, and Africa, which included stops in connection with the work of the Clinton Foundation. During every leg of the trip, Clinton said he was with staff, foundation supporters, and Secret Service agents. He acts like that matters, right? Like only if he was abusing girls should it matter. When in reality, we know him enabling is horrible as well. His enabling of Jeffrey Epstein directly led to Jeffrey Epstein having the pull, having the flash to be able to pull all of this off. So please shut the hell up, Bill Clinton, with your nonsense, okay? Your excuses. And all of your people who protect you, they're all scumbags too. It is not immediately clear how many flights were involved in each trip, or how that number would square with the flight logs that reportedly show Clinton on 26 flights on Epstein's plane between 2001 and 2003. And we haven't even seen all of the flight logs yet. What, have we seen a quarter of them or so? So yeah, 26 that we know about. How many flights was Slick Willie really on? And where was he going? Where were the destinations? How many times was he on a flight where they didn't even log it? How many times did he dip on his security detail? These are all valid questions that should be asked. And what, because he's an ex-president, nobody should ask these questions? I don't care if this dude walked on water. These questions need to be asked. In 2015, Gawker reported that one of those trips included a 2002 domestic flight Clinton and his Secret Service detail took from Miami to Westchester County, with Epstein also on board. Now, Westchester County has an airport, right? And for the uber rich and the ultra wealthy, they fly into Westchester, if they live in that area, as opposed to flying into LaGuardia or JFK. Now, we all know that the Clintons live in Westchester. We all know that they like to host people at their house up there. So why would anyone think that Jeffrey Epstein wouldn't be going to their house? Why would they be flying all together into Westchester if Epstein isn't going over to the Clintons' house for a quick cup of coffee or whatever the hell it might be? Here's an idea. Just be honest, Slick Willie. Why are you lying about everything still? Clinton's press department did not respond to the Daily Beast's request for comment on whether this trip was part of one of the 4 trips previously accounted for. Yeah, they're not going to respond. Why should they? If they're not getting pressed by the New York Times or the Post or one of the big outlets, why would they respond to the Daily Beast? On the first Asia trip, according to the flight logs, show Clinton and Epstein were also joined by top Clinton aide Doug Band, Epstein's ex-girlfriend, co-conspirator, fellow child abuser, general all-around scuzzbag Ghislaine Maxwell, and his former assistant and lieutenant, Sarah Kellen. Also among the list are 2 women only named as Janice and Jessica. Janice and Jessica, huh? I wonder where Janice and Jessica are. Wonder what they have to say. And as far as Doug Band goes, going back to the story we talked about yesterday. Well, this shows you he was there. This shows you he was around. This shows you he knows what was going on. So it would make sense that the FBI would want to talk to him, right? If this is all documented right here and we're reading it right now, well, it makes sense that the FBI would want to talk to anybody who might have been around on one of these flights while girls who are being trafficked for sex are also on these flights. Probably a good idea to speak to everybody involved, yeah? According to the Miami Herald, court records describe Maxwell as using recruiters positioned throughout the world to lure women by promising them modeling assignments, educational opportunities, and fashion careers, and that the pitch was really a ruse to groom them into sex trafficking. Yeah, that's pretty much the MO, right? Dangle that carrot, promise them the world, then absolutely crush their dreams and destroy their lives. That was your typical move by Ghislaine Maxwell. That was the typical move by Jeffrey Epstein. That was the typical move by Bill Clinton's good friends. Other court documents listed Kellen as one of Epstein's potential co-conspirators and was granted immunity in 2007 controversial plea agreement with Florida federal prosecutors. And now you hear Ghislaine Maxwell's team talk about that all the time. She wasn't mentioned. Well, fine. That means she shouldn't be protected under the NPA, right? Oh, but it says unmentioned as well. You see, again, it's her legal team muddying the waters, trying to stir up the bottom of the lake there. You know, get all of that silt up to the top so you can't see the what's going on. The non-prosecution agreement Epstein's lawyers agreed upon with prosecutors sentenced the pedophile to an 18-month prison term, of which he only served 13 and was allowed to leave for work every day, and made him register as a sex offender. Not in New Mexico. Epstein was arrested Saturday by federal authorities in New York and charged Monday with sex trafficking crimes after allegedly luring girls with cash to his Manhattan mansion before sexually abusing them. The new claims, to which Epstein pleaded not guilty, allege that he sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls at his homes in Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida. The allegations are almost identical to those made in Florida. What about New Mexico? I know, you're probably saying to yourself, I was waiting for him to say that. I knew he was going to talk about New Mexico again. Well, yup. I'm going to keep talking about it until something is done. It vexes me, okay? It aggravates me, and it makes me mad that Zorro Ranch still has not been raided. How in the world can anyone justify that? Monday's statement also did not mention Clinton's financial ties to Epstein. As the Daily Beast reported, a former charity of Epstein's, the COUQ Foundation, donated $25,000 to Bill and Hillary's charity in 2006 and was recently listed among past and present donors on the Clinton Foundation's website. And not only that, we know that Gerald Lefcourt has said publicly that Bill Clinton was given a boatload of money by Jeffrey Epstein to start the Clinton Global Initiative, and Doug Band has said the same thing. So, folks, look. The story that we talked about yesterday with Doug Band speaking to the SDNY, again, I don't have 100% proof that took place. I can't refer you to an article and say, hey, look, this definitely took place. But I will say this. Chris Spargo has been pretty damn spot on throughout this whole entire thing, hasn't he? Much more so than, say, ABC. So I think that when you look at the overall story of Doug Band, his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and the fact that Doug Band definitely was around when Maxwell and Epstein were flying on planes with Clinton, then it would make sense that the FBI and the investigators would want to talk to him. And it would also make sense that anybody else who might have found themselves on one of those flights or around Jeffrey Epstein should be expecting the same kind of phone call from the investigators. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBY CAPUCCI at protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All of the links that go with this episode can be found in the description box. And to everybody who has donated to the podcast in the last couple of days and in the past, thank you folks so much. I really do appreciate it. All right, everybody. Like I said, this is the only fresh new episode for the day. There'll be a couple more flashbacks, and then we'll be right back at it tomorrow morning, getting prepared for the live stream. All right, folks, enjoy your Saturday, and please do not drink and drive.
At Orange Coast, our customer reviews prove we treat you like family.
Our family works together.
Our family has your back.
During the Jeep Celebration event, get special pricing on our new Jeeps.
When you're with family, you have that sense of trust, and that's what we do here.
We're upfront with the prices.
We respect your time. We treat you like you matter.
Our customers' reviews are the best in the area.
And we've earned that reputation.
Your #1 Jeep dealer in Orange County. Shop easy. Drive happy. OCAuto.com.
Gearing up for the warmer days ahead? If that includes shopping for a reliable new car, SUV, or truck, there's no better time or place than Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event. You'll find great deals like huge cashback offers, low APRs, and low payment leases on many of Toyota's most popular models, including Camry, Corolla, Prius Prime, Highlander, and even Supra. So see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.